Every single time you watch one of those YouTube videos about making 10k a month, you are lying to yourself instead of realizing that you haven't even made like $10. I mean, we are the most informed and most ambitious, still most paralyzed generation that has ever walked the earth. We have been cursed with the vision of what's possible without the grit that is required to do what's necessary. We're all escaping the matrix on our Instagram stories while we're still being held hostage by our own comfort, doom scrolling shorts while eating a bag of chips, lying on our sofas. I recently came across this idea of a ghost year, a 12-month span where you do everything right on the paper and still end up exactly where you started, only more bitter, envious, and more defeated. And if you don't recognize the signs now, then this is going to be the year where you stop being a dreamer and actually become a cautionary tale that everyone should look up to and see what not to do. It starts with the loss of respect. You see a clip of a guy in Dubai talking about making perhaps 20k in just a month while you're standing in line for a coffee that you can barely afford, and suddenly everything around you feels like a scam. The professor at the front of the room, a scam. The 40-year-old manager at your internship, a loser. The idea of working for 30 years? It's slavery. But here's the thing that nobody tells you. Despising the normal path doesn't automatically qualify you for the extraordinary one. Most people quit their 9 to 5 mentally, but they never actually start the 5 to 9. They just sit in this agonizing and lukewarm middle ground. The middle ground is the slow death. It's the way that the air in your bedroom feels heavy after 3 days of not leaving. It's the physical cringe that you feel when your parents ask, how's the business coming along? How is that new idea that you were working on? And you have to give them a vague answer about scaling and marketing and blah 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 because you haven't actually made a single sale. It's like opening a blank Google Doc to write a script and closing it 10 seconds later because the silence of the page is too loud. Well, that's a personal one for me. It's like the Sunday scaries, not because you have a job you hate, but because you have a life you're supposed to be building and you haven't laid a single brick. We are addicted to the idea of being self-made. We love the aesthetic, the dark mode workstations, the productivity apps, the locked-in playlists, but the second the work stops feeling like a movie, the second it becomes a spreadsheet or a cold call or a bug in the code that takes 6 hours to fix, we just fold. Gen Z isn't really weak, but we do lack talent. Don't misunderstand me. I mean that we're weak because we have no tolerance for the boring. We want the peak of the mountain, but we're disgusted by the dirt on the trail. We have mistaken access to information for acquisition of skill. That is one of the most important things that you should learn early on. I promise to tell you about the ghost year. It's the year that you spend getting ready. The year that you buy the courses, you buy the books, get into some financial guru's Discord server, but never act on any of it. The year you'll tell everyone that big things are coming while you're secretly terrified that you're actually just average. I've been there, sitting in that room, feeling the gap between who I said I was and who I was actually becoming every single day. That gap is where depression lives. It's where the almost becomes your identity. If this feels like it's attacking you, good. That means that there's still enough of you left in you to feel that sting. The internet didn't just change the game. It removed the guardrails. There's no one coming to tell you to sit down and focus. There's no boss to fire you from your own dreams. You just fade out. You become the person who used to do e-com, or who tried YouTube for a month, or who started an online business and then is nowhere to be seen. Wealth in this age isn't about being the smartest. It's about being the most durable. It's about being the person who can sit in the boredom of the process long after the inspiration from that TikTok clip or that YouTube short has evaporated. So what is it that you can do? You can actually look at your hands instead of the screen. Either go back to the world of normal and do it with excellence, be the best student, the best employee, the best craftsman, or commit to the alternative until it bleeds. But stop pretending. The world has enough people thinking about being rich. It needs people who are brave enough to be bored, who are brave enough to be lonely, and most certainly who are brave enough to be unsuccessful for as long as it takes to actually become something worth being. You need to decide, because the almost is a very cool place to spend the rest of your life.